So with our first sign-up form ready to go, let's get our email set up. That will be sent out immediately once someone signs up. So that will include customizing our confirmation and welcome emails. And so we'll start with the confirmation message. Then because we're using double opt-in, this is the message that someone will receive when they submit their email to the form. And then they must click a link in the message that's immediately sent to confirm their permission to join the mailing list. And then automatically after that, what we'll set up is the welcome message. That's sent immediately once they've confirmed the permission to join our list and thanks them for their successful sign up. And welcome emails are really a vital key piece of your new contact nurturing efforts. Welcome emails are outperforming most marketing messages all the time, achieving really high open rates and click-through rates. So they're very important to set up. And so what should your welcome email contain? There are a few options. Of course, a simple thank you and welcome message. You could provide them with even more content past what you've promised, for example, maybe in the lead magnet. Include a survey link. You could or ask them to reply to the email with things they'd like to learn from you, your content, additional details, or you could do that through a survey. You could also include instructions for them to whitelist your from field address in their email client to make sure that your messages always land in their inbox. Provide, again, an easy way to get in touch with you, if that's an email address on Facebook, how it is they should reach out. And I'll show you a couple of examples of some, other brands and how they're doing welcome messages. So Dropbox, for example, is giving you, this is the Local Guides example. Is sent immediately once you've signed up, giving you, letting you know the access levels you have and a call to action to actually, come onto their site. Dropbox is great. It welcomes you and it lets you know more about what you can do with your Dropbox account and the CTA, of course, to get started, and a message to let you know that there's going to be some more emails coming. There's also this one with the Todoist. It was a cool example as well. It gives you some more content, some more ideas, some more of their apps. It gives you access to the help with tutorials and also the contact details and login information as well. And so this is a cool example just of giving additional information that would be the most important upon the sign up. And of course, in our case, whenever we're promising a lead magnet, we do want to make sure, of course, to deliver the lead magnet either whenever someone is confirming or when they reach the confirmation page, so a URL download page, or in the welcome email. And you could also do it as a welcome series. You could think about extending this process into a whole welcome email series, like a cycle of emails that are sent through an autoresponder, or even a marketing automation workflow, which we'll create in the next lesson. But we'll save the ins and outs for a process like that for the online course of setting up like a whole autoresponder or marketing automation series, because we'll be doing that in just a few lessons. But basically, it's a similar process to what we'll be doing now, just extending it, because we're going to be creating that welcome message today in this lesson. And of course, a welcome series is just coming up with more content to deliver that you think is applicable to someone who's just signed up. There's lots of resources out there for you. Our Getresponse blog has tons of really cool, really informational articles about welcome emails and series, so you can definitely check that out there. And that would help you set up the details of a series if you want. But we'll keep our focus for this lesson and get the one welcome message set up before we go. And so we're going to see it in the account. And so what I'll be showing you in the account is how to customize the confirmation message. So the message that someone will receive automatically when they submit their email address to your form. How to customize the confirmation page, so the page they see once they confirm their permission, where it redirects. And the custom confirmation, again, this page is where people could actually download the lead magnet, but in my example, I'm going to send it to them through the welcome email. So we'll see that as well. And I'll show you how to do the welcome email setup as an autoresponder. And like I mentioned, I'm setting it up as an autoresponder in this lesson. In the next lesson, I'll show you how to do it with marketing automation. And marketing automation might sound new or scary, you're not sure exactly what it is, but have no fear. It's very simple. It's a wonderful tool to start using, and it's completely perfect to start welcoming contacts. And so I'll show you the both ways, and you can choose which one you prefer to actually welcome your contacts. So let's go ahead and see all of that in the account now. So here we are in the list settings, where we can set up all of the details that have to do with people who sign up via that form we created in the previous lesson. And so it's within this list name right here, which is where people sign up for based on that form we put on the site. in the last lesson. And so I just need to go through the settings and make sure I set up these details properly so people go through the right path whenever they sign up. And so, this is just the name of the list. And then this is where you could be able to give the name of your list a little bit more of a title or specific description about what it is that's going on with this list. Set up information like the category, if that works, the default language. You can also upload a logo for your list here so that, for example, people may see it, your logo and the title and description of your list whenever they visit different pages like unsubscribe pages or like a newsletter directory. That's where such things like a title and description would be seen. So that's just something you could be able to fill out those details whenever you're editing or setting up this list for those new signups. You need to specify if you do have a logo, if you want it to link to something like that. So these are the general settings that you can go through and make sure are configured to your liking. And then, for us in this lesson, mainly we want to make sure that we really establish the way our subscription process goes for people who sign up for us. And so this is where we have enabled, it's a really, good recommended step to use double opt-in, extra confirmations for web subscriptions. And so this, applies to that form we put on our website. That's a web subscription. And so what that means is that whenever someone submits that form on our site, they're going to be sent automatically a confirmation message that just says, hey, we received your request. Click here if you, do give your permission and want to join. So that's what we'd like to do. It's really good for deliverability rates. It's really good to make sure that you're only getting people who definitely want to be on your list and confirm that they have a valid working email address. So that's where you would set up that here, but you can, of course, turn it off if that's a step you don't want to do, but we do recommend to have it on. You also have an additional option about managing pages that your contacts will see. And for example, whenever someone actually signs up, after they confirm their subscription through this confirmation message, which we'll customize in a moment, this is the URL I want them to see. You can use a default Getresponse page if you don't have a page yet, but you can definitely and would recommend to set up a custom URL on your website. For example, I have this for the chocolate monster created on my site. So this is what it looks like whenever they confirm their subscription. When they click the link in the confirmation message, this is the URL that they'll see. And of course, if you make any changes, you have, always the option here to save your subscription settings. And this confirmation message is what we can customize. And I say customize because the way it works for double opt-in is that it cannot be completely made from scratch by you because there are some requirements that the message needs to have in order to work as a confirmation message. But you've got some options if you want to send it in a plain text or HTML format. HTML meaning, of course, there's just, some different styling options you have. You can update the subject line, using some of these, pre-selected prompts here, you can see. And you can also add a custom subject line, but it does have to be approved if it's not one of these predetermined subjects here. Set up the from address, reply to address, and then you can choose different templates that you want. And you can kind of see what they look like. This is just the default template. And you can see there's an additional text box here and there at the footer where you could add something specific if you wanted. So this is just kind of, required content here that needs to be there to work as a confirmation message. And you'll be able to add additional text here. And you can scroll through and see if there's some kind of different template here that you would prefer to use other than the default. So this is going to be how you'll be able to actually, specify it here and customize it. So customizing it basically by choosing, what subject line you want and then what template you want to use. And then if there's some specific text you'd like to add here. So definitely go ahead and make sure that you set up this process and edit it how you want. Save it so that then when they sign up via the form, they get sent this message, then they click, they'll see this link once they confirm their subscription and they'll see this page and they will be properly subscribed. So that's our confirmation message. So that's accessible within the lists area of your account, remember. So you go to contacts, then we're within lists. And then if you already have your list set up, just as a quick reminder, that's in settings. So this is all going to be managed in the list settings. So make sure you're doing that for the list that you directed the form that we put on our site to send the leads to, or the sign up. So make sure you do it like that. So that's going to be briefly how you can be able to customize a confirmation message. Next, we want to set up our welcome message. So the message that's automatically sent after someone confirms their subscription. They see, this page. And then, for example, they'll get that message that's maybe delivering that ebook or lead magnet that you were, featuring in the form. So we can set this up in this lesson as an autoresponder, but I'll also show you in the next lesson about how to do it as an automation workflow. And then you'll be able to choose maybe which, method you prefer. So from the contact space, I'm going to go to email marketing and then autoresponders. And by default, it shows you all of the lists at once. So just make sure that you, again, choose the list that, people are signing up from the form and from the, and then the list settings you were just editing. Make sure you're in that list. And I already have some example, autoresponder messages set up here, just as a quick example. But day 0 is what we're talking about here, a welcome message. And so this is basically, exactly as it sounds. Day 0 is the same day that someone signs up. So that means that whenever someone submits the form, they go through the confirmation process. Then once they've confirmed their subscription, automatically this message that you configure here will be sent to them, for example, delivering the lead magnet to them. So I'll show you what it's like to create one. And so I could even do it, by clicking here and creating another one, or I can just go to create new. And then we'll give our autoresponder a name. Again, you can see it's for your reference only, so I'll just call it again, welcome message. And input day 0 here. Remember to make sure it's choosing the proper list. Send message immediately. You could set it up with some delay or with some time constraints, but I want it to be sent immediately when someone signs up and confirms their subscription. You can choose to not have this message be sent on some day. For example, if someone signs up on a Wednesday and for some reason they shouldn't receive this message on a Wednesday, I can uncheck that box and then they would receive it on Thursday. But this basically means they'll get it regardless of the day they sign up. And then we need to choose our message. We can create an email from scratch or choose one that we have, for example, from our, maybe a draft or a newsletter we've sent. So I can just choose create new email as the example. So give the message a name. This is internal only for you. So, I can call it the chocolate leads sign up welcome because that's just for me. But then for the subject line, it needs to be like welcome. Let's say, I want to use their first name that they put in the form. Download your ebook now for what I was promoting. You can add a symbol if you want. You can specify your from fields here. Change the reply to, and enable the distribution settings. So definitely it's a good idea to turn on Google Analytics. In the future, we're going to be doing more with that. So that's definitely a good idea. Your click through, add it to your social profiles if you wanted, but that's not really the case here. And so we can move forward to the next step where we choose the template. So it can be any of the pre-designed templates that are available. You can start from scratch if you want and just kind of, build your own kind of text-based message. So you just need to choose the template. And we've got one already ready to go for our chocolate monster. Then once you choose the template you want to use, you just need to customize it. Or if you're starting from scratch, you just need to make sure you input all of the, images you need to use, all of the text. This is confirming welcome. Now to make this kind of, specific to know that people signed up, for my lead magnet from that form we created, let's just pretend, I can change this here to be the button where they download the ebook that was promised, download your ebook here. And then I would put the, URL where they can actually download the ebook here. So pretend this is, where it's based. So there. Now they can actually, it's doing what we promised, which is what you want to make sure to do, make it super clear based on, why they signed up for you to get that lead magnet. You want to deliver it to them and make it super easy and clear how to do that. So let's say this is good to go. Just for this example of the setup, we can go to the next step. It brings you back to those settings we were at previously, and we can choose Save and Publish. And this is just some message because I already have some people on this sample list who are past this day in the cycle, but I don't need them to get that message. You probably won't see that, so don't worry about it. Then it brings us back to our Manage Autoresponders page, and we can double check how this is looking by choosing our list once more. And now, of course, you can see I've got two messages because I already had one created, for this example. So now there's two here, but usually, of course, you'll just have one. And so it's as simple as that. So we're going to make sure we have this process, super simple for everyone to follow. We set up our list settings how we need them to be. Customize our confirmation message so it looks good, has the information that they need to confirm their subscription. Then once they confirm their subscription, they will be sent this welcome message as an autoresponder and download, hopefully the lead magnet. So that's all you need to do, be able to keep going and working through this. And so stay tuned for the next lesson, which is going to be showing you how to use marketing automation to welcome new contacts. And you can choose if you prefer that method or maybe as an autoresponder. And so get that done, and we'll see you in the next lesson.